to the next item on the calendar, and this is Brookline Interactive Group, their annual report to us.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me, and this is new. I think it's my first time with these. So I want to thank you for having me here tonight. I'm still getting used to the long distance and the short distance with the glasses, so you have to excuse my glasses calisthenics here. First of all, I just want to thank the town employees, in particular Austin Faison, who is handing out hot off the presses our annual report. It's the second time we've ever done one of these that I know of, and our team put it together, and we're really excited about this report. And I will leave some in the back for folks in the audience if they'd like to check them out as well. We also have a winter class flyer that we're going to hand out to you, and some information about some virtual reality and augmented reality projects that we're doing at BIG, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. So I also want to thank Mel Kleckner and Melissa Goff, the Cable Advisory Committee, including Neil Wyszynski, and all of the Board of Selectmen for your support in negotiating a successful contract with Comcast. Thank you. I know that was a difficult process. We also want to convey our gratitude to the 80-plus community members who spoke up at the public hearings to support Brookline's process for BIG to continue to serve as your community media center. So thank you so much to the community. In addition to working with the town on a renewed contract with Comcast, we developed 28 new after-school programs in the last year and a half. We're really excited about these programs. We started a community journalism project, a filmmaking program for low-income women, built a town database called the Thrive Guide, launched an 11-day film sprint, and generated new participation in productions, classes, events, programming, and use of our facility. It's been a very busy year. And I'm going to try to be as short as I can because I know you're running behind. We have over 18 monthly live programs now. When I came in, we had a couple, and our team has done a really good job to cultivate new members and new programs. We have over 235 students and adults that pass through our shared facility daily, and we covered over 615 hours of your town committees and town selectmen meetings and town meeting. We increased our offerings and attendance with new digital storytelling, cinematography, DSLR, audio, and 360 filmmaking classes. We have new partnerships with Steps to Success with Brookline High School, with the Arts Center, the Teen Center, the Senior Center, where we demo virtual reality and teach media classes regularly, and we're training the next generation of content creators. We launched a partnership with Gateway Arts this year, where students of varying abilities were able to create digital stories about their artwork. And our volunteers in our journalism program, including Marsha Hawley, which probably some of you know, created some amazing news stories about the Brookline Food Pantry, about the Goddard House Gardens, Porch Fest, the Arts Festival in College Corner, the elections, housing in Brookline, and residents who partnered in both DC and Boston women's marches. I was fortunate enough to be there, in fact, and ran into a Brookline family who I was able to interview, so it was very fortuitous that I was able to find them. We also developed some new tech solutions. Some of you may know that we now have these things called Teradecks, where we can put them on the back of a camera, and we can actually go anywhere in the community and shoot live coverage of that event. So one of the places that we're using those pretty heavily is the BHS auditorium, and we now don't actually even need to have staff go over there. We can sit in our control room at BIG and be able to manage that all remotely, which just minimize the amount of staff time that we're spending and create some automation of everything. We also created the Public VR Lab, which is the next iteration of participatory media. So we're doing virtual reality, augmented reality, 360 video. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it might be a little clear when we show the video. But if not, you can come over on Wednesday nights from 5 to 8 and on Fridays from 2 to 3:30. And it's free virtual reality demos. We have over 30 demos that you can come and experience, from Google Maps, where you could walk through Florence and see the Duomo as though you're Godzilla, or you can go on the moon or on Mars or at the bottom of the ocean and experience sea turtles floating around. We also have partnerships with Boston VR, which is the 5th largest meetup in the world now, And over 50% of the new visitors coming to BIG this year came because we added virtual reality to the mix of multimedia that we're offering. We also, lastly, before we go to the video, we gave out over $5,000 in both the last 2 years to community producers. And we did this to increase the professionalism of our productions and create a process by which you had to apply for a grant. We gave them grants, and we worked with them in a cohort group monthly every single month last year and this year to generate a higher quality of production quality out of our media center. So I'm going to show you a quick video made by our team, and then I'll let you know what's coming in 2017. Maybe. I think so.
Will it have sound?
I sure hope so. It does have sound.
We haven't been too
will have
successful
Uh-oh.
with sound.
We actually had Ben, our IT manager, come over and test it twice this week. So hopefully it'll work.
Oh, wow.
I am an unabashed fan of BIG. It has been a key instrumental player in our major fundraiser that we have been doing, Dancing with the Brookline Stars. And they do pre-event filming, they do during the event taping, and they do post-event production. As a result, we have had inquiries from all over the world about this event.
I think it's a great place for people who want to come and work on their own projects. There is plenty of equipment to use, and you can also organize your own events here, such as film screenings in a movie theater.
In particular, BIG provides great support and technical assistance with our MLK celebration, the Lunar New Year event, the Age-Friendly Cities Committee, the Domestic Violence Roundtable, the programs of the Brookline Commission for Women, so many more throughout the year.
We've had a number of seasons with Be There Book Club, and each year it has gotten more engaging and more interactive. We had a great idea for literacy for young children, and BIG made it happen.
During the last school year, students from Steps to Success have come down to BIG and they've worked on these digital storytelling projects. Kids have made stories about their relationships with their parents. They've also made stories about past vacations that they've taken.
BIG has been particularly exciting for me in that it's a unique organization outside of the schools. And yet, when we talked about ideas and visions we had for what BIG might be able to do in the community for children, there was never a time that it felt like too much for them.
The Public VR Lab is to bring the long tradition of public access media into the VR space. The lab is a collaboration between Brookline Interactive Group and Northampton Community Television to facilitate discussion and activities to support increased hyperlocal content creation, public education, and to promote digital inclusion with these new content creation and storytelling spaces. At the Public VR Lab, we're here to help you tell your stories in the next iteration of participatory community media.
I think BIG, through their covering of town meeting, the Board of Selectmen's meeting, key meetings that important decisions are going to be made, they're there videotaping. We can take that information and let people know, hey, if you can't be here, it's here.
insisted that last slide stay in. I tried to get them to take it out, but. So I want to just tell you about some really exciting things, just in summary, that is coming up in 2017. I'm going to pause this. Oh, there's a thank you. Wait a minute. There's some thank yous. We have a lot of interns. We have 10 right now, actually, just started last week. And we wanted to thank you guys for all of your work on our behalf. Thank you very much. Make sure there's no other videos starting here. So, really exciting this year. We have designated free speech monthly themes that we're asking the community to come in and participate around. In January, we did I Have a Dream. We had members of the community come in and talk about their hopes and dreams for 2017. We invite you, it's still January. We'd love to have you come in. We can set up a time at your convenience. February is going to be What is Love, both romantic and humanistic love. We're doing a March free speech event on checking your sources, a discussion with journalists and the community about media literacy in a world of alternative facts. We're doing a public VR lab meetup, VR in the public interest, in March also. And then one of the flyers that I gave you was for the virtual reality eco hack. And we're actually, we're going to be reaching out to some of the climate change folks about this. It's a hackathon in virtual reality, augmented reality, and 360 video. Participants can win prizes of cash and equipment and other fun prizes. And the focus is that teachers are giving us 3 lesson plans based on climate change education and science education that participants have to make over the course of a 3-day weekend into a VR, AR, or 360 project. So we're very excited about this, and we'd love your support on that as well. And lastly, we're doing an augmented reality project. Cara Bruton, in fact, and I have been plotting a very exciting project with Team Brookline, and Team Brookline has come on as a sponsor. We're going to be planting virtually stories along the marathon route, and just like Pokemon, you can take an app along Beacon Street and you can read the stories of runners, the charities, and also small businesses. So we're very excited about that. We'll tell you more as we get going on that. And in summary, I want to just tell you this one story about the inauguration and the Women's March. 11 days ago, I had the privilege of attending and interviewing attendees at the inauguration and the Women's March in DC. We asked them what it meant to be an American, what kind of news they digested regularly, what they hope would happen in the next 4 years, and what steps they planned to take when they went home to their communities. While many shared the very same concerns for our country, they suggested quite different ways to enact these policies. All were convinced that they're very well informed and completely unbiased in their media source digestion regularly. The reason I bring this up is that I think the need for transparency in government is more critical than ever in media, and free speech is perhaps most important than it's ever been. The need for freedom of expression and neutral platforms for sharing your voice has never been as appreciated as perhaps it is now. Not every community has a community media center like BIG, and I'm honored to serve our community by protecting each voice in Brookline and providing space for difficult dialogues about what is best for our community and for our country. I hope you'll come into BIG in 2017 and make your voice heard. Thank you so much, and available for any questions.
Thank you. I think we're very lucky to have BIG. It's a wonderful facility, and I think we're lucky to have you, Kathy. I think you've been doing great things over at BIG. You've been here now, what, 2 years?
2 years as of December 1st.
Yeah, right. And I've been the board liaison to BIG, so Kathy and I have worked on a few things together. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, and with you as well.
Yeah.
I just have one sort of question or comment. I enjoyed your movie, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm a co-chair of Brookline as an age-friendly community, and we're very happy to have a show through BIG. But I keep saying I don't actually work on that, so I'm just like giving the advice without doing any of the work. But I keep saying, why instead of sitting in a little room and interviewing somebody, if you're talking about parks, why don't you go out to the park? And it'd be much more dynamic for people that are channel surfing and come across things. And they're saying that you guys don't have the ability to come and
We do,
camera person.
but it means that they need to, our job really is not to make media for the community, it's to facilitate access to media for the community. So one of the things we've done in the last 2 years is sort of weaned people off of the model of we do it all for you. We think it's better to teach people how to fish. So we have created all these programs so that we can train people on how to access these tools and equipment and use them for themselves to go out and make media. And we have many more people actually creating media. Even some of the folks who used to use mostly our staff to do their shows are now doing that on their own.
Okay, so
so we
the
can
answer-
help them to,
Okay.
we'll give
The
them an
answer is
incubation period to
We need to come
help.
up with a senior
Yeah.
who wants to become a camera person.
Absolutely, and we also, the citizen journalism program's also a good place, community journalism program's also a good place to ask, hey, we have this one specific thing that's happening on this day, would a volunteer from the community journalism program come out and maybe do a story on it?
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure.